A beautiful Friday evening in Southern California tonight as the University of Laverne women's volleyball team returns to the home floor after a trip to Occidental on Tuesday, led by head coach Jenna Whittier as they look to extend their 3-game winning streak. I'm Nicolette Rojo alongside Randy Peterson. It's going to be a great game tonight as both teams will be battling for the top spot in SCIAC play. Randy, let's take a look at the standings for current SCIAC play.
Yeah, a battle indeed tonight. There's 4 teams at the top of the SCIAC tonight, going in at 4-1. 2 of them here tonight with Laverne and Whittier.
Now let's take a look at some of the key players for the Laverne Leopards, starting with number 20, Kelsey Sievers at outside hitter.
Kelsey's got 172 kills and is 3rd in the SCIAC in both kills and kills per set at 3.37. She's also contributing 24 blocks, which is about a half per set.
Number 21, Haley Saleo at outside hitter.
Haley's got 132 kills, 2.75 per set, and a 243 hitting percentage along with 10 blocks.
Number 8, Kristen Sanchez at libero.
Kristen on an all-time high right now, taking over the leaderboard in all-time digs for the University of Laverne and also leading the SCIAC. She's got over 1,600 digs in her career, 287 so far this year, and averaging 5.63 per set.
And number 10, Madison Maines at setter.
Also on top of the SCIAC is Madison with 513 assists, averaging 10.06 per set, and also 22 service aces.
For Whittier College is number 12, Mackenzie Thiem at outside hitter.
Mackenzie's 5th in the SCIAC with 157 kills, averaging 3.27 per set, which is 4th in the SCIAC, and also 70 digs.
Number 24, Ashley Withall at outside hitter.
Ashley's got 107 kills, averaging 2.61 per set, along with 64 digs.
Number 6, Haley Petrusco at libero.
Haley's got 120 digs, that's 2.5 per set, and another 12 aces.
And number 16, Cameron Purdom at setter.
Cameron at setter's got 319 assists this year.
Okay. The Leopards have won 3 of their last 4 games against Whittier College, including a split series last season. Randy, what are the keys for Laverne to get the victory today and continue their run throughout SCIAC play?
So Laverne's running an interesting offense this year, trying something a little bit new, running a 3-middle system, and it's working really well for them. So their key tonight is to just have some consistency out of their hitters. They've been having some huge games from their outside hitters, Haley Salaya and Kelsey Sievers, and they look to extend those streaks and stay on top of the SCIAC tonight. Another key for them tonight is going to be their blocking game. Whittier does have some big hitters that Laverne's going to have to keep a block in front of. And we all know that Kristen Sanchez, with her over 1,600 digs, is going to be digging up anything that comes past the block. But if you know volleyball, you know blocks are worth a lot in energy more than they are in points.
And what are the keys for Whittier College to seal the deal for tonight?
Whittier College is going to have to manage this crowd. You know, there's a big crowd coming out tonight, a whiteout theme, obviously a TV broadcast, so a lot of outside distractions around the court. This gym can get pretty loud. Whittier's proven to be a really good team, so if they can just stay focused on the inside of the lines and slowing down the outside hitters from Laverne, they'll have a chance tonight.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I did not remember what you said exactly.
Tonight, with it being a whiteout game, you can see around the crowd, there's tons of people wearing white. The students are starting to file in, fill in front of us here with the broadcast station. hoping to create a distraction from the stands and give us a little bit of an advantage on the Laverne side.
In addition, the Laverne band is also right below the booth here to add some of that, to add not only support for the Leopards, but also trying to distract Whittier College and keep them off balance throughout the game here. Okay.
Just about 2 minutes till game time here. Laverne also in white tonight, going with the whiteout theme, the all-white jerseys. Whittier in a purple graphic jersey with some yellow sleeves here. And the players in the opposite colors will be the liberos. That's Kristen Sanchez on Laverne in the black. And on Whittier, that is
Haley Petruscu.
Thank you. I could not say that name. So Laverne's got head coach Jenna Panettiere, been at the helm since I came here many moons ago, I guess. Jenna continuing to put up 20-plus win seasons, continuing to be atop the SCIAC, making the SCIAC conference tournament for the last 7 years. Assisted by Jeff Hendershot, who's been with her pretty much every step of the way here, and assisting and also co-head coaching with Jenna. Jenna's recently gotten a job promotion up to a senior assistant AD here, so we congratulate her on her continued success here at the University of Laverne.
For Whittier College, we have Chris Duarte McDermott, who is entering his 5th year as head coach alongside Sarah Lupu and Matt Delato as the assistant coaches. This past year, he had in 2017 season, Whittier College posted an 18-9 record and 10-6 SCIAC record, finishing a tie for 3rd place in SCIAC play. He picked up big wins for Whittier College, which included the number 10 Trinity College of Texas, and then on top of number 14 Laverne.
Fun fact about those Whittier coaches, Chris McDermott and Sarah Lupu are both alumni of University of Laverne. Sarah Lupu and her sister both played volleyball here and were very successful. We're going to cut out for the national anthem.
We're going to take a break for our national anthem. If we take a look at the starting lineup for Whittier College. I can't hear. Number 13, Abby Salmon. Number 24, Ashley Wickhall. And for Laverne, we have number 5, Emma Stagoy. Kristen Sanchez, number 8. Brianna Vaught, number 9. Number 10, Madison Minus. Number 13, Caitlin Winicki. Number 20, Kelsey Seegers. And number 21, Haley Salea. As we are getting ready in about a few seconds, this is going to be a very entertaining, expect an entertaining game from both sides of the floor, especially with this wide-out energy crowd here tonight.
Should be fun to see the crowd get into this and the fans and the families that are here tonight. Whittier is not too far from us, so lots of fans out for Whittier as well down here in front of us.
Checking out Laverne, for Laverne, several other sports teams have also came to support out as well to bring more energy for the Leopards.
The reffing officials tonight, you'll see, as I call him, the high priest, but there's one ref up on a stand. He's in charge of the whole game. There's one ref down on the floor who is going to watch about half the game. He'll watch the net and some of the lines. And then you have lines people on the corners of the court. They're calling the ball in or out of bounds and determining if there were touches off the block. Those are their jobs. Whittier's going to start with serve tonight.
Cameron Purdom, number 16, is about to serve for Whittier right at this moment. And Emma Stagoy hits it out 1.1 zip for Whittier as they get prepared to serve once again. That was hit out of bounds, 2-0 Whittier College.
So a couple early errors for Laverne here. One shanked pass or an ace ball, and then a hitting error.
Mine is at the serve. Seegers hits. And Whittier's Piloto hits a kill for Whittier to extend the lead to 3-0.
It's a good pass coming from Haley Salaya, a good hard swing out of Kelsey Seegers. Just didn't get back on the block in time to block Frankie.
Purdom serves once again. Minus hits. With all. Oh, nice save by Sanchez. Silver hits it above. And Laverne gets the point after finally is on the board 3-1 with Minez ready to serve.
Setter Madison Maines back to serve here, try to get Laverne back on track.
Great block for Laverne to make it 3-2.
Caitlin Winicki getting up and putting down a big block for us there. And as I said before, blocks are worth more in your energy than they are in points.
Great effort by Whittier. They're getting that extra edge just outside for Whittier, 4-2. Good double block by Piloto right there to make it 5-2 Whittier.
Frankie Bellotto putting up 2 good points early on. She is only a freshman and already starting to make herself known in this match.
Good block by Whittier. Receiver. Great save by Petruscu, but not enough as Laverne is back on the board with Sanchez, the libero, getting ready to serve, 5-3. -2, good block by Whittier. It's a great battle between the two teams, fighting to keep the ball alive for that point. Sanchez and Sievers.
What a hard-fought battle there. Lots of blocks on both sides.
That's what Laverne just needed. Another kill from Sievers with Sanchez getting ready to serve. Whittier's back on the board, 6-4. Celaya just couldn't keep that up. Petruscu is getting ready to serve for Whittier College.
Again, Emma Estegoy having a little trouble on serve receive here. Look for this libero, Petruscu, to serve at her again to try to pressure her some more.
That is out of bounds by Laverne, so Whittier gets another point to make it 8-4 with Petruscu serving once again. Missed serve by Petruscu gives Laverne the extra point. Laverne the point. Number 2, Tegan Griffiths just subbed in for number 20, Kelsey Sievers, and is about to serve right now for the Leopards.
Laverne having a little trouble on defense here. When they're not blocking the ball, they're not digging it. So they need to pick up their defense if they want to get back in this game.
Hannah Joyce checks in, the setter for Whittier College, and is about to serve right now.
Nice kill by Celaya, sliding out to the outside, hitting down the line. You'll see that Whittier is using 2 setters tonight. They're running a 6-2 offense. That's when you have 6 hitters and 2 setters. So they will always have a right side hitter front row, and their setter will always be in the back.
Laverne gets that point as defensive specialist Sabrina Sullivan, the freshman from Burbank, California, is about to serve once again.
It's an unlucky point there against Laverne.
Laverne's miscommunication right there leads another Whittier point to make it 10-7 with Withall serving. Great save by Petruscu.
It's a big swing from Celaya, but a great dig from Petruscu, and then not enough defense on the Laverne side. Looks like Coach Panettiere is going to take a timeout and get on her girls about playing some defense. That would be my guess. On the Whittier side, they're probably feeling pretty good and talking about where to hit, what shots are open, and pressuring Laverne's defense a little more.
Both teams, I've noticed, are going back and forth What do you think is the key for Laverne to, and notice Laverne is struggling a little bit on the defensive side. What do they have to do to pick it up in order to overcome this deficit and win the set?
Well, just like we saw the miscommunication, little things like that are going to start to add up for them. They're going to have to talk, not let any more balls drop between them, and honestly put forth a little bit more effort on defense and try a little harder to get the ball up. There's been quite a few balls that have hit Laverne's floor without much effort, and that'll really kill your emotion on your team because it's very frustrating when that happens.
As Laverne prepares to take on the floor after the timeout by Coach Pennetier. Here getting ready for this next serve by Whittier. Great save by Griffiths. Great dig. Shabusku to, it's a good block, good defense by Laverne.
Again, Laverne struggling on the defensive end, and sometimes it's not just the girls that are trying to dig the ball, but the block could be set up wrong and leaving too much space for the Whittier hitters to hit at.
Whittier is currently up 12-7.
One thing that's on Laverne's side right now is this crowd is coming in right now. This crowd is rolling in, getting loud. So Laverne does have some support on their side and should be able to dig themselves out of this hole with just a few adjustments.
Salea for Laverne is serves. Whittier with the double block there to grab an extra point and extend the lead to 13-8.
Looks like they're going to call that one for contacts, meaning the block did not touch it, and in fact the hitter hit it into the net. Great pass by Kristen Sanchez. Madison Main's putting over the setter dump, going over on two, trying to catch the Whittier defense off guard, and it did work.
And number 17, junior outside hitter Dara Jones is set to serve for Laverne as they are currently down 9-13. Ball fell just short of the net, with Whittier adding an extra point to their lead, 14-9.
If you consider the back and forth of this game, more often than not, Laverne's getting the ball back and only scoring 1 point from the service line, where Whittier's getting the ball back and serving 2 or 3 balls, which extends their lead every time they side out.
Sievers is back in for the Leopards.
Great swing by Frankie Piloto there off the outside hands of Kelsey Sievers, hitting the open shot. Pretty difficult shot for a right-handed hitter to hit. Very impressive.
Curtin set to serve. And another kill for Sievers.
That was a beautifully run play by the Laverne side. If you notice on the film of that, there were no blockers in front of Kelsey Sievers there, so she really got to put some authority down on the ball, or put a little hot sauce on it, try to get some emotional serve.
Sanchez checks in for Jones. And Magnus is set to serve. Third consecutive point for Laverne as Whittier calls a timeout to settle.
So 4 consecutive points for Laverne here. Whittier forcing a timeout. Couple unlucky balls their way. Coach Chris McDermott thought that serve was out. It did look out from up here, but we've got to trust our line judges there, and they called that in, shifting some momentum back towards Laverne. They are still in the hole by 3 points and have a little ways to go before they can look for the win this set.
Whittier has just stepped on the court, and Laverne is also taking on the court, getting ready to serve. Serve is minus.
Starting to get rowdy in here, just like we like it here at Laverne. Fans are getting excited, turning up the volume. Always want to make our serve out of a timeout. It's a tough, emotional point. Laverne forced a timeout for Whittier and then comes out of the timeout and misses the serve. That's a big momentum killer.
Whittier set the serve. First to minus. And Vaught with the scores right there to give Laverne a point, 13-6, with Sanchez set to serve for the Leopards. Whittier's still alive.
Whittier is making some untimely errors here. Although they're still ahead in this match, they've made a lot of errors in the last 5 or 6 points, giving Laverne some momentum in the home stretch of this game.
And another crucial error costed Whittier another point to Laverne as they are catching up and are down by 1, 15-16.
You can see Coach Chris McDermott visibly upset about that one, and I would be too. A couple errors in a row really hurts your momentum.
Whittier bounces back with a point, and Petruscu ready to serve for Whittier. Great job by Sievers to grasp another point for Laverne, make it 16-17.
Sievers will go out of the game so that Griffins can come in for her in the back row and play her defensive position.
Whittier and Laverne battling back and forth.
SCIAC with a big finisher there. A long rally back and forth, SCIAC finding the open spot and putting the ball down.
The game is now tied with Griffiths set to serve in this crucial point right here for Laverne.
That's a tough one. Miss hit by Frankie Piloto, but hey, on the stat sheet, it'll go down as a kill and it goes as a point on the scoreboard. No matter how ugly it may have looked coming off her hand, point's a point's a point.
Whittier set to serve.
Voigt getting up back-to-back from behind the setter and then in front of the setter, putting down 2 really big balls and putting the last one down for a point.
Sullivan checks in again to serve for the Leopards as the game is currently tied 18-18.
It's another untimely missed serve for Laverne. They missed one out of that timeout when they were getting momentum back and now missed one when they were tied up. Both really tough times to miss a serve.
Whitall's up to serve for Whittier.
Once again, Madison Maines putting down the setter dunk, catching the Whittier defense off guard. That's another point that hurts the Whittier side because it's an emotional point. It's a frustrating point when that ball hits the ground from your setter.
Great read by Minus leads to another tied game.
It's a really nice shot.
Pop off with a nice shot to give Whittier the lead once again, 20-19. Sanchez keeps it alive. Minus.
Laverne having a little trouble on defense on the other side. Tegan Griffiths and Haley Salaya were unclear on who was playing what side of the court. Hopefully they can get that worked out so they can play better defense this time around.
Whittier's currently up 21-19.
Nice point swing in the way of Laverne there. Whittier players caught up in the net, which is a violation and an automatic point to the opposite team.
Jones was set to serve for Laverne as they're currently down 20-21. Serve was out of bounds right there, giving Whittier an extra point and make it 22-20 and the ball.
Same old story again, missing a serve at the wrong time. It's going to force Jenna Panettiere to take a timeout here late in the first set, 22-20. Whittier's leading. Probably what's happening in the Whittier huddle right now is Coach McDermott's probably urging his girls to swing smart from the net. We can't afford to make errors here. We can't afford to make a silly mistake that's going to lead to an easy point for Laverne. They're going to have to make them earn their points. And on the Laverne side, it's the same thing. Can't keep making service errors, can't keep having defensive mix-ups. And definitely swinging smart, putting that ball away to earn these last 5 points.
As Whittier takes on the floor, amidst the errors, if you're Jenna Panettiere, how are you feeling about Laverne at this moment, despite the mistakes and the battles back and forth between them and the Poets?
You know, playing for Laverne for 4 years and Coach Panettiere for 2, knowing her for all these years, I can see she's frustrated, and I understand that she's frustrated. Her girls are making a lot of errors. They're a very good team, and they're not playing very well right now, and that's probably frustrating for her. But she does, at the end of the day, have faith in her girls, and she's got them back out there, I'm sure, ready to score this point.
Laverne is just taking the floor and getting ready to continue this set with Whittier leading 22-20 in the first set. And Purdon about to serve. Purdon serves. Nice double block by Whittier. Whittier to stop Sievers from scoring, extending the lead 23-20. It's
a tough one for Sievers. She was swinging hard, going for a big point. Swing harder, get blocked harder. So look here for her to find another shot to hit. She goes with the tip.
Nice dive by Purdon to stop. Great hustle by Jones for Laverne.
Once again, Laverne still struggling on defense here. It's definitely a change they're going to have to make as they move into the second set. Whittier takes the first set, 25-20. I'm sure that feels good, being in this gym packed full of people that want you to lose. They take the first set almost handily with a 5-point spread at the end.
At the end of the first set, the score is Whittier is up 1-0 out of the first set, seconds with a score of 25-20. You're watching the SCIAC Volleyball on LBTV3, Laverne Community Television.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today? Let's do those pearly whites, man. Yeah! Good boys, check it. Yeah.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's the sound? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir. See ya, buddy. Today Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Hi, I'm Kristen Sanchez from Leopards Volleyball.
And I'm Kayla.
And you're watching LDTV3.
You're watching SCIAC Volleyball, LWTV3, Laverne Community Television. With Whittier taking the first set, 25-20. Entering the second set as Whittier is taking on the floor right now after both teams switch sides.
If you look at the screen right now, you can see Laverne fans are still faithful, ready for a good game tonight. They're not unhappy. They're ready to cheer. They're in their white, ready to see Laverne bounce back and win this second set.
What does Laverne have to do in order to bounce back this set? And
definitely a theme from the first set was their defense was all over the place. They were making good plays and getting good digs, and when they did that, they were scoring almost every time. But unfortunately, most of the time they weren't getting those digs. And props to Whittier putting the ball in different places every time, but Laverne's going to have a bigger and better effort on defense to be able to stick with this fired-up Whittier team.
Whittier's just taking them forward right now. It's 5 seconds left to the start of the second set.
Laverne will start with serve this game. Whittier started with the serve in the first set. Back to serve will be Madison Maines, the setter. In the front, we've got Brianna Voigt, Kelsey Sievers, and Caitlin Winicky. That's a strong and tall front row. That should be pretty successful to start out the game.
Great double block by Laverne to start off 1-0. Great start by Laverne with Mina set to serve once again.
That's a close one into the corner there behind Celaya. I think she thought it was out. Probably should go for that one just in case it falls in like it did.
Purdom set to serve for Whittier as they are tied 1-0, 1-1.
So as much as we see Kelsey Sievers get up and hit the ball straight down, she also has to come back and pass the ball and serve receive. And being a taller frame, she has made herself a target on serve receive. So look to the Whittier servers to find her.
Sievers bounces back right there with the kill to tie the game up 2-2.
Sievers finding that seam in the block, as we call it. That's the space in between the two girls that go up to block and the space in between their hands.
Dara Jones is checked in for the Leopards.
Dara Jones giving her best effort there to dig that ball, but too much heat on it.
Whittier's now up 3-2.
Kaylee Celaya putting that ball down.
Griffiths checking back in for Sievers to serve at 3-3 apiece.
Although a net call there, Griffiths also had trouble digging that ball. Once again, Laverne's defense not looking too great yet, but it's early in the game.
Petrescu back to serve for Whittier, 4-3. Great block there by Salmon for Whittier College to extend the lead to 5-3. Introduce Petrescu back to serve once again.
Haley Celaya coming out of middle back right now. You'll see that she has to pass the ball from the center of the court and then try and swing out to the side or down the middle. On that last one, she came down the middle, didn't have much court to hit at, so she missed long.
Emma Estigo checks in for Jones for the Leopards.
There's a nice dig.
Good effort by Laverne, but Whittier still gets the point as the ball was hit out of bounds.
Off the hands of Emma Estigoy there. Although it looks fun and it looks like a good block, if it goes out of bounds, it goes to the other team.
Panettiere calls a timeout for the Leopards after Whittier gains another point to extend the lead 8-3.
Jenna's having to take a timeout early on right now, and I know she's frustrated about that, but I imagine she's telling her team right now, we've got to get the ball up on our side. Keep the ball off the ground on our side, play defense, pass the ball well, everything else will fall into place. They say defense wins championships, so I'm sure she's telling them, let's play defense. You'll see on this last play here, Whittier hustling hard. Sanchez only getting one arm on that ball in the backside, and that's not enough.
If you're McDermott, how are you feeling with Whittier right now?
McDermott's probably very proud of his team right now and hoping that they can sustain this level of play. 8-3 is early in a game, that's early lead. A lot can happen in the next 20, 25 points and changes of momentum and changes of score.
The Leopards have now taken the floor with Whittier getting ready to set to serve. To serve once again. 8-3. The Poets are leading up by 5, and Petrescu set to serve again.
Petrescu's serve given Laverne a little bit of trouble in the first game and the second game as well.
Much needed point and kill by Celaya right there to give the Leopards a 4-8 deficit. Still in the game.
Haley Celaya with a little bit of fire there, coming fired up out of the timeout, ready to put the ball away and score some points.
Sullivan's serve was just out of bounds, giving Whittier an extra point and extending the lead 9-4.
As I've said a couple times already tonight, those are really crucial times that you have to make your serve. Laverne's in the midst of trying to battle back and close this deficit, and missing their serves only going to make it worse.
Great hustle by Sullivan trying to save it, but Whittier adds another point, 10-4. With Hannah Joyce, the setter getting ready to serve for Whittier.
Laverne's really starting to struggle now. Their passing is continuing to break down. Their setters having trouble finding out who to set and where, and then it's resulting in hitting errors, thus extending the Whittier lead.
Whittier is now up 11-4.
Just barely out of bounds by Whittier. Looks pretty close from this side. But that point's going to go to Laverne, and although frustrated, I'm sure they'll take any point they can get right now.
Sullivan is set to serve for the Leopards, down 5-11.
As I see Laverne continue to struggle on defense, I begin to wonder what their block looks like. I believe they block more balls than this, and tonight they're having trouble getting more touches off the block and blocking the ball, so their defense is having to take on a bit more pressure.
Great effort by Thiem there to barely score that point and extend the lead to 13-5 for Whittier.
Laverne continuing to struggle here. The coach is getting quiet, getting frustrated, looking at each other, wondering, what should we do with our team right now?
Good defense by Whittier. Good effort by Esteghlal, but a little too much firepower there as Whittier gains another point, 15-5, after the ball was hit out of bounds.
Esteghlal heading out of the game, Dara Jones heading in, trying to make a difference on the offense here. Laverne is just absolutely crippled by hitting errors right now. They're hitting a lot of balls out of bounds, having trouble playing defense, having trouble passing the ball to their setter.
Jones bounces back there and grabs an extra point for the Leopards. Still down 10, 6-16.
Laverne had taken a timeout at 8-3, and now it is 16-6. That's an 8-3 run by Whittier.
Laverne crowd is hyping up right now. Still plenty of time. Perhaps hope for the Leopards.
Sanchez struggling to get two hands on the ball tonight. Seen her go with one a lot, and she's such a good passer and such a good defender. If she would just get there with two, she'd have a lot better of a chance.
Now, as a volleyball player, if you're struggling with all these mistakes, how would you as a captain or a player bounce back and try to motivate your team as they're down double digits?
As a captain, as a player, as a coach, you want to keep the same mentality of, let's just simplify it. You're not going to win the game on 1 point. You're not going to win all 10 of the points you're down by in one. You can only do it one at a time. So let's put our energy and our effort into making our points go up and theirs stay the same. So keeping it simple in terms of, hey, we don't have to do anything fancy. Let's keep our serve in. Let's play good defense. And let's let Whittier make the mistakes.
Laverne just added a point. And then Whittier bounces back to make it 18-8.
Just some really uncharacteristic errors happening on the Laverne side from veteran players like Sanchez and Winnicky, who normally hold this team together. They're just making a couple really tough errors.
Piloto and Purdom check in for Whittier College, set to serve. And again, crucial hitting errors are costing Laverne as Whittier gains another point and now up 19-8.
You can see setter Madison Maines telling her team right now, just relax, settle down. It's a great hustle.
That's great
on the Whittier
hustle.
Side.
Good battle going here between the two teams.
Whittier just can't be stopped right now, even in these long rallies. They're doing all the right things. They're hustling hard. Their energy's up. They're having a great time.
Jenna Pinatier calls another timeout for the Leopards.
I think think at this point, Jenna and Jeff are just trying to relax the team. You know, they're really wound up. They're playing really tight. They're playing really frustrated. Just get them settled down. Get them focused on simple little things. Passing the ball to target, keeping the ball in bounds. And on the Whittier side, I'm sure they're happy, just telling them, let's get through this game. You got to win 3, not just 2.
If you're Laverne, despite they're obviously down by 12 points, even though the victory for this current set is inching away, what's the mentality for Laverne, you think, as they continue, not just for this set, but for the rest of the game?
So there's 2 mentalities here. There's always the mentality of the game's over at 25, and if they're not to 25 yet, anything can happen. I've seen it happen before. Teams come back from bigger deficits than this. So there's that mentality. You can still fight and win this game. And there's also the mentality of, let's start to play now how we want to play in the 3rd set. We know we're going to play a 3rd set no matter what, so let's start to fix it and pick it up now so that we can take it into the 3rd set. Really simple play there by Laverne. Great pass by Celaya, setting the middle. Brianna Voigt hitting the nice open shot in the deep spot of the court.
Sanchez is set to serve for Laverne.
Two points in a row for Laverne, a hitting error from Whittier.
To 10, Whittier. Sanchez back to serve once more.
A tool shot off Severs. Although she was up, her hands were facing the wrong direction and the ball bounced off her hands out of the court, resulting in a point for Whittier.
Mackenzie theme for Whittier set to serve.
Celaya not ready to give up yet. Still swinging hard, finding the open shots, trying to fire her team up and rally them around her.
Griffiths checks back in.
See on the replay here, Celaya hitting off the hands of the block, speeding up that ball, dropping it in front of the defenders.
Great hustle back and forth by both teams.
It's a wonderful shot by the Whittier outside hitter, hitting high off the hands of the blocker, making it very difficult for the defense to run that ball down.
Abby Salmon checks back in for Poets, up 22-11, and Petruski serving.
Again, Celaya being the linchpin of this offense right now. If I were Madison Maines and I were the setter, I would say, Haley Celaya's gotten a kill the last 3 times I've set her. I'm going to keep feeding her the ball. When it's 22-12, you got to try something, and that's what's working.
Whittier bounces back and gets that point back.
Good swing by Frankie Piloto, hitting through the hands of the Laverne blockers.
Hannah Joyce checks back in for the Poets and is set to serve.
Again, Celaya is absolutely on fire right now, and that just goes to show you she has not given up on this game. She's swinging hard. She's looking for a way to score, no matter what the score is. She's got a fighter mentality, and she will try to win a game no matter what the score is.
Kaylee Winnecki has just checked back in for the Leopards.
It's a double contact call by the up ref. That's when if someone goes to set the ball and they hit it with both of their hands, at a different time. They try to hit it together at the same time. 2 hands hit it, and it comes out spinning. They'll call it double contact.
Whittier 23, Laverne 14. Sanchez to Minez.
Oh.
Great double block. Great double block by Winnicki, excuse me, and Minez, and timeout.
Yeah, Caitlin Winnicki getting up on that block, starting to get Laverne fired up. Hey, we can block them, we can play hard, it doesn't matter what the score is. If we want to win this game, we can win it now. I'm sure that's what she's talking to the team about right now as Winnicki takes this timeout. And on the Whittier side, hey, they've been in the 20s for the last 5 or 6 points, and I'm sure Coach McDermott's ready for this game to be over before Laverne gets any more momentum and any more confidence. Let's get this game over with. It's a replay of the block. Caitlin Winnicki finishing her hands over the net, blocking that hitter down to the floor.
Laverne is starting to get back their firepower. What's the key to continue this and to continue this throughout the set?
Well, throughout this set, they've just, you know, they don't have much room for error. They just have to play with heart. They have to play with intention and make sure that they're not taking any points off. They can't afford to take a ball off and let it drop and say, we'll get the next one. They've got to do this point right now.
Salea set the serve for the Leopards.
Fantastic service ace by Haley Salaya. That ball was knuckling its way down to the court, making it extremely difficult for the Whittier passers to get that ball up.
Leopards are slowly catching up, down 16 and 23. Once again, with the double block to make it 17 to 23. Laverne is slowly creeping in.
Here's a replay again of Winnicki going up and getting another block for Laverne, bringing the emotions way up on her side of the court, giving them all the confidence they need. It's a great serving run by Haley Salaya. Weren't able to hold it on defense there, but believe it or not, they can still come back and win this game.
Whittier bounces back 24-17 with Whitwell set to serve.
That's going to be the game. 25-17. We'll switch sides for a third set. Take a small break for some fan serving games. See if Laverne can come out of this break and play a little better.
At the end of the second set, the score is Whittier 25, Laverne 17, up 2-0. You're watching the SCIAC Volleyball on LBTV3, Laverne Community Television.
We all play a role in keeping our community safe.
Every day, we move in and out of each other's busy lives.
It's easy to take for granted all the little moments that make up our everyday.
Some are good,
Others not so much.
But that's life.
It's when something doesn't seem quite right
that it's time to pay attention.
Because only you know what's not supposed to be in your everyday.
So protect your everyday.
If you see something suspicious, say something to local authorities.
And welcome back. You're watching SCIAC Volleyball LBTV3, Laverne Community Television. With some SCIAC play, Whittier taking on Laverne Leopards with the Poets up 2-0.
Yeah, Laverne coming out kind of slow tonight and having some trouble with Whittier. Whittier came out really hot, came out playing hard, came out serious, ready to win, and I don't think that Laverne was quite prepared for that. I'm hoping that Coach Panettiere and Coach Hendershot can talk to the girls right now and settle them down and get back to the game plan. In between the second and third sets, Laverne does a little fan appreciation and lets the fans come down and serve volleyballs. And if they hit the t-shirt, they get to take it. So some fellow Leopard athletes down there giving their shot at volleyball serving and probably figuring out it's not as easy as it looks. Yeah, honestly, I might be able to hit a shot from up here, but that's probably from 8 years of coaching, not playing.
Gonna look at all the fans here.
Beginning to see a little bit of cheating from the fans here. I believe you have to serve it to get the point, but they're starting to throw it, hoping for that free t-shirt. Who doesn't want a free t-shirt in college, am I right?
And it looks like it's just ended, and the fans, athletes have returned to the stands.
Hopefully these fans here dressed out in white, ready to see a good match, can get Laverne fired back up, give them some confidence that they desperately need coming into this third set. What I'd like to see from Laverne coming into this game is just some better defense. I really think that's what's holding them back right now. They're not playing defense, they're not getting the ball up, and Whittier is out-hustling them in almost every aspect of the game. Laverne's very capable of winning this game.
And if you're Whittier, what's the key to continue that hot streak and seal the deal?
Well, so Whittier's obviously on top of this game by 2 games. They only got to score, they only have to win 1 more. So for them to do that, they're going to stick to their game plan. They're going to keep doing what they have been doing that works, hitting the open shots, pressuring everyone on defense, and they're definitely keeping their serves in and not making very many unforced errors.
Take a look at the men's soccer team as they have decked out in their white, supporting the Laverne Leopards volleyball team. Coming down just under 50 seconds left to go at the start of the third set. Laverne has just taken the floor.
Laverne looking fired up, looking confident, like they're ready to start new. Just like it takes 25 points to win a game, it takes 3 sets to win a match. So although it's very heavily favored for Whittier right now, there is a percentage of the time that the other team will come back and win the next 3 sets and win the match. In fact, Laverne did that, I believe, last week at Cal Lutheran. They were down 2 games to none. They came all the way back, won the match. So this isn't the first time they've had their backs against the wall this season. It should be interesting to see if they can pull that off yet again tonight.
Still anybody's game in any sport, but especially in the game of volleyball. It's still anyone's game here, as the third set is about to kick off, start in just a sec.
Whittier's fired up, obviously on cloud 9 to be up 2 games to none against Laverne, who's also atop the SCIAC. They're battling for who gets to stay in first place and who slips down to second or a tie for third place. Laverne on the receiving end today.
Whittier set to serve right now with great dig by Petruscu.
Ball hitting the floor on the Laverne side.
Whittier off to a quick start, up 1-0. Severs comes back right there to gain an extra point for the Leopards, and Mino is set to serve, tied 1 apiece.
It's a great swing from the Whittier side, and not a whole lot of defensive effort coming out of Laverne yet this set.
team is ready to serve. Up 2-1 for Poets.
Seaver is getting another kill for Laverne. She's the hot hitter so far this set. Madison Maines should be looking to set her as much as she can. Also coming into the front row is Haley Salaya, who was hot in the end of the second set.
Too strong there by Whitball to give Laverne another point, up 3-2, and Sanchez set to serve.
That ball going way out of bounds, called a spatula in the game of volleyball when you hit the ball really flat with no spin. Sometimes you call it a spatch.
Laverne gains another point, up 4-2. Sanchez serves.
I think for Laverne to win this set, they're going to need to jump on Whittier early in this set. Try to get him down, get up by a good spread of points.
It's a good kill by Frankie Piloto for Whittier.
Salaya finding her way through that block, scoring a point.
Tegan Griffiths checks back in for the Leopards and is set to serve. Down 3-5. Excuse me, up 5-3.
Great save by Tegan Griffiths.
Excellent hustle right there.
Coach Panettiere getting fired up on the sideline, hoping her team will really kick it in gear here. They're showing signs of being able to pull this game off, but still some signs of what's held them back this match.
Caitlin Popoff and Hannah Joyce have checked in for Whittier, and Joyce is about to set up down 4-5. Great dig by Sanchez.
Four contacts on the Whittier side. That call is hard to understand, but it's when the hitter hits the ball into the net or the top tape of the net instead of into the blocker's hands, which means that it technically never crossed the net, so it's 4 contacts on the Whittier side.
Emily Lung, the junior setter, checks in to serve for the Leopards.
An untimely service error from Emily Lung there, but hopefully she can turn it around and make some good plays right now as a defender.
Whitball for the Poets set to serve.
One thing you can get lucky with if you miss your serve at the wrong time is if the other team turns around and misses it right after you. It kind of cancels each other out and makes your miss serve not as tough.
Salea, the hot hitter, set to serve, just serves. Great dig by Griffiths. But just out of the reach of Minez's hands as Whittier gains back a point, still now 6-7.
It's a back and forth match so far.
Excellent save right there by Whittier.
Whittier having a tough miscommunication there. Setter George a little upset about the middle, getting in the way of that ball so she couldn't set up her hitters. Otherwise, fantastic hustle coming out of the Whittier side.
Haley Petruscu checks back in for Whittier. Excellent block by Kelsey Seaver right there to fire up Laverne. Verne as they extend the lead 9-6, and Dara Jones set to serve once again for the Leopards. Whittier bounces back right there and gains another point, still down 7-9.
Laverne again struggling to defend the ball from Whittier. Whittier is hitting the perimeter of the court, or the outside edge, on the sidelines and the deep end line. And Laverne's throwing one hand at the ball or swinging back to the ball instead of moving to it and defending it, and that's resulting in some issues for them on defense.
Sievers again with another kill to extend the lead, 10-7.
An excellent swing by Sievers, hitting the steepest angle on the court, burying that ball into the tee shot. See a replay here of how steep Kelsey hit that ball.
Strong effort by Whittier to get that extra point.
Laverne again struggling and swinging their arms on the ball on defense and sending it the wrong direction.
Of course it did.
Kelsey Sievers missing a blocking assignment there, leaving only one blocker up against Whittier's middle, making it very easy for that ball to find the floor. Caitlin Winicky with the big swing out of the middle to fire up her team.
Jones checks back in for Winicky. As Sanchez set the serve up 11-9 in the third set here.
Laverne block a little late there going up against the push one, but it looks like it's going to go in Laverne's favor. Originally a touch off the block called, and now the up referee is saying that it went out of bounds. Let's go to the replay here and see if there was indeed a touch on this block. I believe there was a large touch on it. This is not the correct replay.
The call does favor in Laverne, and now they are up, and the call still stands up 11-9.
That's a crucial point swing there. It takes the game from being tied to Laverne being up 2. Freshman Haley Salaya absolutely on fire this third set and at the end of the second set here. Again, if I'm the setter, I'm going to keep finding her on the ball. She's fired up, she's ready to play, and she's scoring a lot.
McDermott calls a timeout for the Whittier as they're down 13-9, 4 points.
McDermott visibly upset. I know that reffing error and that call going towards Laverne is really frustrating for him, but then for his team not to bounce back from it and lose the next 2 points is also very frustrating. Like I said, that reffing error could have resulted in the score being 10-10, but it instead was 11-9. So it's been a 4-point change for Whittier, and that's bringing them down a little bit. It's firing Laverne up, giving them the chance to get a bigger lead in this set.
The big crowd is definitely helping Laverne. What do they have to do in order to seal this, to win this set and continue this game?
Well, obviously Laverne's got the crowd and the home court advantage, but they've got to take care of the ball physically on their side. Emotionally, it seems like they want it, they've got heart, but physically they've got to do the right things with the ball. Sometimes heart and mentality and emotion isn't enough. You've got to actually play good volleyball and continue to pressure Whittier hitting the shots from the net.
Sanchez set the serve as they are up 13-9, Laverne. Great save by Jones.
Kristen Sanchez having a tough time defending that ball from the back row there, going with one hand, trying to pop the ball up.
It's a great hit by Thiem right there as Petruski set the serve.
That's a good swing by Haley Celaya, just out of bounds on the back. She was looking for it to hit off the hands of the blockers, and it just missed them and just missed the back line. I would still keep swinging if I were Haley. That's the first error she's made in a long time.
Whittier still down 11-13.
Whittier missing that serve long, giving the ball back to Laverne for free.
Good read by Jones to not touch that ball, and as they gain an extra point, and the lead is now 14-11 with Griffiths checking in and serving for the Leopards.
That's a fun one. Whittier trying to call that ball out of bounds, couldn't get out of the way of it, hit him like dodgeball.
Free point for the Leopards, 15-11.
Brianna Voigt missing her blocking assignment there, leaving way too much space for the Whittier hitters to hit at, making that kill go down fairly simply.
Hannah Joyce checks back in for the Poets, down 3.
Again, Celaya on fire, hitting off the hands of the Whittier block, deflecting the ball in an opposite direction, making it really difficult for their defenders to pick that ball up.
Emily Long checks back in for the Leopards and set up 16-12.
Now Laverne's feeling it, getting excited. The crowd's getting back into it. This whiteout game is back on track. Laverne extending the lead to 5.
Good serve by Long as she is set again, 17-12. Long serves.
It's another 4 contact by Whittier, never cleared the top of the net, never went into the block.
3 straight points for the Leopards.
Whittier putting a new setter into the game that we haven't seen yet this set or this match.
It's number 28, Serena Alvarez from La Habra, California, the freshman setter. Whittier gains a point back, still down 13-18.
Celaya finding the space between the block and the net. May have looked like she got blocked, but that ball was actually on the Whittier side. She found just a little bit of space to hit it in between, tooling the block. Now she's back to serve. Now it becomes a game of errors from Whittier. They're making a lot of errors now. The tables have turned in this match.
McDermott calls another timeout for Whittier as Laverne extended the lead 20-13 in this third set.
So Laverne's got 20, but you need 25 to win. Hoping they can keep their momentum and their energy high, roll through this third set, push it to a 4th, which in volleyball technically is overtime.
Now, if you're Whittier, after having a hot start in the first 2 sets and now being down in this third one, what do you do if you're Whittier? What are you going to do if you're McDermott? What are you telling the Poets?
Well, I think if you're Whittier, you did expect this game to go 4 or 5 sets. I don't think they expected to sweep Laverne. These are 2 very evenly matched teams. And although Whittier played hot those first 2 sets, Laverne did not. And now that they're hot, Whittier's going to have to step up and play at the level of Laverne to stay in this match, just like they did the first 2 sets.
As Laverne's crowd is currently getting hyped up to La Chona, and the Leopards are getting ready to serve once again with the with Haley Celaya, the hot hitter, up to serve for the Leopards.
One of the great traditions of Laverne is all the sports teams coming out to volleyball games and supporting and having a great time while they do it.
Excellent dig by Dara Jones leads to another point to throw off Whittier and gain the lead 21-13.
Looking at the replay here, Dara barely gets that ball over the net and it goes down for a point.
Whittier barely hits that ball, stays barely in bounds, and gains a point, still down 14-21.
Down ref calling a net there on Dara Jones. Seems like he's the only one that saw that net, but sometimes that happens and we've got to trust them. And so Whittier earns that point.
Laverne crowd obviously not happy with that, as Whittier is now still down 15-21.
That's a great little poke over the net by Winnicke, switching up her shot. She's been hitting the ball a lot to the sides, decides to mix in a tip there to the donut, and scores with it. You can see she goes up and drops it down right in front of their defenders.
Verne is up 22-15 with Jones set to serve. Excellent hustle by Salea.
Controversial call coming from the up ref. He's calling that Kelsey Sievers reached over the net and broke the plane of the net, which is illegal on the first and second contact. Jenna telling her girls and her team, don't worry about that. It's just 1 point. You still have the momentum.
Good read by Frankie Piloto to gain that extra point.
Look for Jenna to call a timeout here. Yeah,
and
there
she does.
Goes. Look for Jenna to call a timeout here because the momentum's starting to shift back into Whittier's favor. A couple weird calls at the net that didn't go Laverne's way, and then a couple balls hitting the floor, giving some momentum late in this set to Whittier. They're only down 5 right now, coming back.
Now, as a player, with the controversial calls not going your way, how do you maintain your composure and focus on the game amidst those calls?
Although those are frustrating, you have to remember that most of the time for every call that doesn't go your way, they're going to make a call that does go your way that maybe shouldn't have. So it all balances out in the end. And you just got to focus on playing the game yourself and not leaving it up to the refs to decide if you win or not.
Laverne is up 22-17 in the third set as Whittier's Cameron Purdom is set to serve.
Double contact called on the Whittier side. So just like that, the refs made another point and it went towards Laverne. So like I said, if you just don't focus on it, they'll come back your way one way or another.
Minus the setter is set to serve.
Although Kelsey Sievers did try to pancake that ball, she missed it. A pancake being when your hand is flat on the ground like a pancake and the ball bounces off the top of it.
Sanchez checks back in for Jones for the Leopards, and Whittier still down 18-23.
Beautiful shot by Caitlin Winnicke. Under some pressure there, she roll shots over the block and finds the floor in the middle of the Whittier side.
Jones checks back in as they are 1 point away from taking the set.
There it is with an ace.
And
Laverne takes the third set.
And they do, and the Leopards bounce back and take the third set, 25-18, with Whittier still up 2-1. At the end of the third set, the score is 25-18. Leopards 25, Whittier 18, with Whittier up 2-1. You're watching the SCIAC Volleyball on LBTV3, Laverne Community Television.
For too many parents, a baby's first steps aren't just a milestone, they're a miracle. A miracle made possible by volunteers like you, who walk and raise money in March for Babies. The money you raise funds research and local programs that help babies overcome the challenges of premature birth and birth defects. Together, our steps make stronger, healthier babies a reality for thousands of families. Sign up today to take the steps that help make milestones and even miracles possible. Who will you march for?
And welcome back to LBTV Laverne Community Television. We're watching SCIAC Volleyball between Laverne and Whittier College, with Laverne just taking the third set. Whittier now up 2-1 as they enter the fourth set with 1:20 to go.
B, took my dog and truck and drove away, or C, took a Louisville slugger to both head.
A little bit of trivia happening on the court here for Laverne.
One correct now for song number 2.
Laverne's crowd getting into the little song trivia.
I'm gonna guess these girls are too young to know TLC Scrubs. Jeff's talking to his girls, I'm sure, telling them what's open, what they need to do, and really firing them up with, you know, a fighter's mentality, a battle mentality. He used to tell us all the time in these tough games, you know, hey, this is why we play volleyball. This is what we live for. This is why I coach. We love a battle. We don't want to win easy games. We want to win the hard ones. We want to go out and give it all we got. So I'm sure he's firing them up, getting them in the right mindset. While Coach Panettiere got Madison Maines aside, talking to her, I'm sure, about her setting selections. She's got her stats in front of her, telling her which hitters are efficient, which hitters are not.
And look,
on the opposite side, I'm sure McDermott's just talking to his team about, let's get back to who we were in sets 1 and 2. We had control of the game, we hustled hard, we were communicating well, we were fired up, we were having fun. We just got to get back to that identity and forget about that one that took over for most of the third set.
let's take a look. Some little leopard looks. As this Laverne crowd has just finished dancing to No Scrubs, but TLC, a nice little throwback. And fourth set is ready to begin with Maines serving.
Whittier coming out with a little bit of authority on that first ball, putting it down hard and trying to make a statement that they think they're taking this fourth set.
They jump into the lead 1-0 with Cameron Burton serving for Whittier.
Seavers finding that pocket in the corner of the court, in between two of the defenders, making them have to move into that spot to take it.
Dara Jones checks in for the Leopards. Both teams tied 1 apiece, and Sanchez serving. Great hustle by Minos to save the ball. Excellent hustle by Sanchez. Minos to Saleo, and
double contact called on Madison Maines there. Again, like I said, that's when you go attempt to set the ball and your hands actually hit it at 2 separate times and not at once.
Whittier now up 2-1, serving.
Seaver's taking a big rip on that ball into the angle from her former position on the right side. She feels still very comfortable over there, taking a big swing.
Tegan Griffiths checks in for her and is set to serve.
Jenna doing some great game management right now, making the right subs, getting the right people in.
Excellent hustle by Griffiths. Jones to Minos.
Beautiful job by setter Madison Maines, finding her middle there. Big long rallies like that. Setters and teams tend to go to their outside hitter over and over, but middle Brianna Voigt was up on that last one. Quick transition and finds the corner.
Poor shot by by Whittier extends Laverne's lead 4-2, and Griffiths set to serve once again.
Tegan Griffiths playing some great defense on the left side of the court, picking up all the short balls that are falling in front, hustling, making sure that ball doesn't hit the floor. That's the defense I was looking for in sets 1 and 2. Unfortunately, I may have jinxed her as she just missed that serve.
A little too strong there, gives Whittier another point. Now down 3-4, and Haley Petruscu, this libero, serving.
Very close one on this side of the court, but does fall out of bounds. So, like I said earlier, you miss your serve. Only thing making it right is if they miss their serve right after.
Sabrina Sullivan checks in for the Leopards and serves.
With the lucky let serve falling off the tape of the net and onto the Whittier side. Believe it or not, that type of serve used to be illegal.
Laverne is now up 6-3. Great dig by Sanchez.
Sanchez making some great defensive reads. Twice Whittier went to that corner. Sanchez got it the first time, wasn't there the second time.
Hannah Joyce checks back in for Whittier, now down 4-6. Serves. Griffiths with the dig. Minos to Jones.
Dara Jones finding her way through that block, hitting the floor with a strong swing. You can see she hits right in between the hands of the blockers here, deflecting the ball in an opposite direction. As Laverne looks to push this to a 5th set, they're gonna have to be careful with missed serves and unforced errors, meaning errors that Whittier's not making them make. For example, a service error, an attacking error. Those types of errors you don't want to have when you're trying to push this game to 5.
Nice effort by Saleva, but Whittier comes up with that point, and now down by 1, 6-7, and Whitthall serving.
4 contacts on the Whittier side again. A miss hit by the right side there, and that ball never getting over the net.
Sievers checks back in for Laverne, as they are currently up 8-6. Jones set to serve.
Caitlin Winicky finding Whittier on their heels there, hitting the ball down in front of them off the block. I like to see that Laverne's middles are getting set a lot, especially on in transition plays, keeping Whittier's block on their toes.
The recovery by Whittier after that block.
Kelsey going for the high line roll shot, just barely misses it wide.
Elena Reed checks in for Whittier, down 7-9.
Looks like that ball may have been heading out of bounds off the block, but the Whittier coverage was not sure, so they went for it and made an error.
Laverne is now up 10-7 minus serves. McDermott calls a timeout and is obviously not happy with Whittier's performance in this fourth set.
Yeah, he's visibly upset, trying to get his girls fired up, wondering why they're making the decisions that they are. They've had a lot of balls falling in front of them on defense. And one thing you don't want to have happen very often is the ball falling to the ground in the middle of your court. Some call it the campfire, some call it the donut, or Shane calls it the puka.
On the Laverne side, what is Coach Pelletier here telling the girls now?
There's a lot of fine tuning happening. You know, there's a couple little things here and there with Laverne that they're still struggling with. They're going with one hand a lot on defense still, and 2 or 3 girls going for one ball, but no one coming up with it. So just fixing little communication kinks like that and getting them back in system, getting them comfortable. They may be winning right now, but she wants them to be comfortable. She wants them to keep extending their lead.
Laverne heads back to the floor with just under 7 seconds to the continuation of the fourth set. Laverne up 11-7. Great bounce back by Whittier, specifically themed to get that out of Laverne's reach and gain a point. Now down 8-11.
See if Laverne can turn this around quickly here without letting Whittier score very many points in this rotation. So replay being called on that ball. I'm not sure why, but the point will go to no one. They'll reset, almost like a jump ball in basketball. Again, a small communication error on the left side of the Laverne court. Sievers going to transition to hit. Haley wanting to come in and be the secondary setter there. They were unable to pull that off. Lucky Laverne getting the missed serve there right when Whittier was starting to get some momentum.
Laverne is back up by 3 with a score of 12-9, and Sanchez, the libero, set to serve. Great battle between the two teams here. Great effort by Sanchez, but the ball barely hits the nets, and the point goes to Whittier, now down by 2.
Verne having some trouble staying in system here, wanting the calls to go their way, but they're going to need to just play better volleyball at this point.
The call favors Whittier and now has just served.
SCIAC taking a great swing there off the high hands of the blockers, hitting it high and far off their hands, making it really hard for the Whittier defense to run it down. An aggressive and smart swing out of the freshman outside hitter.
Good job by Verne fighting off the missed call and moving on to convert that extra point for them, now up 13-11, and Griffiths set to serve.
Verne getting a little frustrated and worried about the ref calls a little too much. If they would just hone in and play a little bit better, those ref calls won't matter.
And a missed serve by Griffiths gives Whittier that extra point, 12-13, and the ball with Petruscu ready to serve.
Great swing by Dara Jones from the right side of the court, hitting high off the hands of the blocker again. That seems to be the shot that's working the best for Verne right now. They're not finding much area of the court to hit straight down into. The block on the Whittier side looks pretty good every time. Verne's having to hit off the hands to try to score. It's working well.
Sabrina Sullivan checks back in for Verne and is set to serve as they are now up 14-12.
See if Verne can keep their serve in here and give themselves a chance to extend their lead a little bit. Great dig by Sanchez. Dara attempting to tip that ball over the net and just misses it.
Hannah Joyce checks back in for Whittier, now down 13-4 and ready to serve. A little too strong there by Leia. Yeah, gives Whittier that point and to tie the game up with 14 apiece.
Verne finding their way out of the middle of the court to score more points. Whittier's back in this though and very fired up. I'm sure Whittier's wanting to end this game in 4 and not go to a 5th set here. Look for this student section to get a little loud here in this last home stretch of this set. Try to push them to 4, give them that emotional energy to get them to the 5th set. Back to serve is SCIAC. She's been serving tough tonight. Hopefully she can keep it in and possibly get an ace here.
Verne is now up 15-14 and serves.
There's no touch called on that. That ball's ruled out of bounds. Point Verne.
Sullivan back to set. So 16-14 Verne in the 4th set. Great hustle by Griffin.
It's an odd contact and an odd way for the ball to bounce off the block. Sometimes the ball just doesn't go the way you want it to, and unfortunately falls.
Whittier gets that point back, 15-16. Whitall with the serve.
Dara Jones making a tough hitting error there, hitting that ball into the net.
Whittier ties the game up with 16-16. Minus. Great hustle by Celaya.
Finding their way through the block as the Whittier hitters. Laverne's going to have to tighten up their game at the end of this set here if they want to push to 5.
Laverne's crowd's stomping the bleachers, trying to hype up the Leopards right now.
Great smart play by Caitlin Winicky, tipping the ball over, forcing the bad pass, getting them out of system, eventually letting that ball fall to the ground. Seaver's back in to spark this front row for Laverne here. They need some big swings. They need someone to put the ball away. Hopefully the substitution of Kelsey Seavers will bring that to them. That's 4 contacts.
Great block by Winicky as Laverne takes the lead, 18-17. Jones back to serve.
Celaya out of the back row hitting the pipe ball, finding the floor, a great swing. If Laverne can just play smooth and in system, they will find their way to a 5th set and a 4th set win here.
Laverne extending the lead, 19-17, and Jones serves again. Great dig by Celaya. Seavers. Good read by Minus.
Just barely out by Seavers there. She was looking for the touch call. None of the officials saw one, so the ball will go to the Whittier side.
Whittier is down 18-19. Great dig by Abby Salmon for Whittier.
Winicky putting up another block. She's probably got 5 or 6 blocks tonight by herself. She's doing a fantastic job protecting that net, bringing the morale up of her teammates by blocking the other team, scoring points.
Laverne is now leading 20-18 minus back to serve.
This is quite the match, back and forth here in the home stretch of this 4th set. Laverne's got to score 4 more. Can Whittier score 6 before Laverne scores 4?
Whittier's down by 3 with a score of 18-21. Make that 19-21.
Excuse my bad math. That would have been 7 they needed to score. It's looking like we're having a little issue with the scoreboard here. The score now says that it's 20-20.
It's actually tied. Yes. Good dig by Purdom. Great save by Minus. Sanchez to Seavers. Minus sets and Seavers pairs. Nope.
It's 4 contacts on the Whittier side. Untying the knot would be Laverne, going up 1.
Laverne has taken the lead 21-20 with Sanchez ready to serve.
Gonna force a free ball to Laverne here.
Mishandling by Whittier gives Laverne an extra point and extends the lead 22-20, and with McDermott calling a timeout for Whittier.
Yeah, McDermott calling that timeout, checking that he had one left, and calling the timeout to just settle his girls down. He's taking this timeout early. It's essentially a game to 5, and Laverne's up 2-0. So look to McDermott to talk to his team about just calming down. Let's just get back to basics and simple pass set swing. They're digging the ball. They're just digging the ball too tight to the net, and the setter's not able to get there and set the hitters. That's happened twice now. On the Laverne side, they just need to relax. Jenna's just telling them, relax, get in system, communicate, take this game.
Laverne has just gone back on the floor. Whittier still in the huddle with 22 seconds left of timeout. Laverne crowd engaging to another little Motown throwback. Ain't no mountain high. As Whittier gets on the floor with 5 seconds to go left. Laverne is up 22-20 in the 4th set with Sanchez back to serve.
Laverne fans having a great time singing along tonight. They're feeling it. Although working hard to try to earn that ball, if it doesn't go Laverne's way, they're unable to get that point.
Whittier now down by 1, 21-22. Severs back with the intensity, getting Laverne back that point. Now extending the lead 23-21.
Severs thought she was going to get the chance to serve that one, but Coach Jenna says not tonight. Going to put Tegan Griffiths back in to serve and play some defense. Laverne looking to find game point here.
Whittier looking to bounce back from that last possession.
Unfortunately, Haley Celaya getting blocked there and no one there to help her and get that coverage ball up. Although Griffiths tried, she wasn't able to get it up and playable.
Abby Selman checks back in for Whittier, and Petruscu ready to serve. Ball barely went out of bounds there, giving Whittier that point and tying the game up.
Jenna's going to call her second timeout. Try to calm the girls down. A couple errors out of Haley Celaya. She's been hot all night. Those are untimely errors. I'm sure she'll find her way out of that.
What does each team have to do to try to win this set now that it's so close?
Well, so now it's a game to 2. It's a race to 2. In volleyball, you've got to win by 2 points. So, you know, it's quick, it's short. A lot of teams practice these types of scenarios, this type of pressure. Most of these girls have been in these positions before, and you're excited for this. You're excited to play in this. You want to get set. You want the ball to come your way. And as a player, you just got to take a deep breath, embrace it, look around you, just have some fun, play volleyball.
Whittier just getting back on the court, getting ready as timeout's almost done, and Petruscu back to serve.
The Laverne faithful still strong, looking for this win.
Good block.
My, that might be the luckiest point they've gotten tonight. That block went all the way to the opposite corner of where it was blocked from and barely dropped in. My goodness, that was lucky. I'd call that a home court advantage if there is one.
Great intensity. It extends the lead 24-23. Great effort by Sanchez.
Laverne will push it to a 5th set.
And Laverne takes the victory, takes the 4th set, 25-23. At the end of the 4th set, the score is Laverne 25, Whittier 23, with each team tied 2 apiece. You're watching the SCIAC Volleyball on LBTV3, Laverne Community Television.
What could you lose in a home fire? Your possessions? Your home? Your memories? Don't let your world go up in smoke. Make sure you have working smoke alarms and practice an escape plan for you and your loved ones, because fire is everyone's fight.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
If you're just turning in, you're watching SCIAC Volleyball, LBTV3, Laverne Community Television, with a battle between Laverne and Whittier here. Now, Laverne just took the 4th set of the score of 25-23 and are now tied 2-2 with entering the final set of the game.
Yeah, Laverne did it. They pushed it to 5. Now all of the mistakes in the battle of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th sets pretty much goes away, and you've got 1 game to 15 to prove who wins this match. As a coach, you like to try to break it down to small bits and say, hey, let's be the first team to 5, let's be the first team to 10, and let's be the first team to 15. Kind of break it into 3 small portions like that. 5th sets go quick. 15 points is fairly quick, especially if one team gets a big lead. You'll see this game end rather quickly. Laverne's looking to keep their hitters hot right now, and their hitters are hot because their defense is picking the ball up and their setter, Madison Maines, is making the right decisions and setting the right hitters at the right time. On the Whittier side, they've got to get back to their basics. They're getting frantic, they're getting worried. I think that they fell off of their high from winning the first 2 sets, and now they're worried about losing. If they got to turn their focus back to not losing and going out and choosing to win.
Home court advantage definitely plays a part too, as you see Laverne's crowd getting into it, getting more pumped up with 10 seconds to the start of the 5th set as both teams are settling now. Whittier about to exit the little huddle.
Laverne fans having a great time out here tonight. They knew they were coming for a battle, and if they paid, they're getting their money's worth, but they're not paying, so they're just having a good time watching this game and hopefully seeing the Leopards take home this win.
Both teams getting ready to see Coach McDermott preparing his players, and Kristen Sanchez on the Leopards hyping up her teammates on the floor.
Yeah, Sanchez is the emotional leader of this team. She's the captain. She's a 4-year starter. She's really holds this team together defensively and has all the girls' backs and does a really good job leading this team. and leading this university. Like I said at the beginning, she's becoming the all-time leader in digs here.
Cameron Purdom serves for the Poets.
Winnicke starting it off with a great smart play, tipping the ball right over the block, finding the floor fairly easy.
Laverne's up 1-0 with Mina's back to serve. Good dig by Whittle. And a kill by Frankie Piloto. Piloto gives a point for Whittier and ties it up 1 apiece.
Good confident swing out of Frankie Piloto off the right side of the Whittier attack. SCIAC having a little trouble passing that ball on serve receive. Look for Whittier to serve to her again to see if they can make it happen twice.
Mackenzie Thiem set to serve for Whittier, up 2-1.
They do serve SCIAC again, but she's able to get it this time. Another kill from Frankie Piloto on the right side of Whittier.
Whittier's now up 3-1. Great hustle by Purdom, but better offense by Laverne.
Laverne getting the ball to the floor by tipping twice already. There are 2 points scored off tips. So if that's what's open, that's what the Laverne hitters are going to have to continue doing. And they should do it until Whittier starts picking that ball up. Then they can go back to swinging at the ball and mixing it up. Frankie Piloto obviously on fire for Whittier right now with 3 kills in a row.
Abby Salmon checks in for Whittier, up 4-2, and Petruscu serves. Good communication going there by Whittier. Severs with the kill and gets that point back to Laverne. Now only down by 1, 3-4. Griffiths checking back in to serve for the Leopards.
Severs really dropping a bomb on that one, making a statement.
Good hustle by Griffiths and Sanchez. Great.
Amazing swing by Haley SCIAC. Coach Panettiere on her feet telling her where to hit that ball and successfully finding the floor. That's an amazing swing by SCIAC.
SCIAC's swing ties up the game 4 apiece, and Laverne's back to serve again.
This is some good volleyball happening here. Great 5th set going back and forth. If you tuned in tonight, you tuned in for a good one. And as I always do, I have to shout out any alumni watching. We love you, Laverne alumni. Let's let these Leopards get the win for us tonight.
Rotation by Laverne.
SCIAC looking to switch up her shot there and go into the hard angle and just barely misses it. It's an aggressive swing, it's a smart swing. She just barely missed it. Coach Jenna giving her some minor adjustments to get that ball in. No doubt she'll get the next one.
Hannah Joyce and Aubrey Harris check back in for Whittier, up 5-4.
Whittier jumping up 2 points with that block there. Watch for Haley Celaya here to pass out of the middle back and then swing out to the outside.
Coach Panettiere calls a timeout for Laverne.
So Jenna calls an early timeout. There's only a 2-point spread, but like I said, a fifth set goes very quickly. So you don't really want the other team to get a 3-point lead on you with such a short game. You want to stop the bleeding early and get back on them. This game's been back and forth. Laverne will come out of this timeout composed, ready to pass the ball and put it away.
And if you're Whittier, what is important here to keep up to not only maintain the lead, but keep up the intensity that they're having, feeding off of each other and mix Laverne's back and forth intensity?
Well, first and foremost, they've got to make their serve out of this timeout. You know, the timeouts sometimes can ice up a server and make them think too much about making the serve. So when you come out of a timeout, you've got to make the serve. If you don't, it's a huge momentum killer for your team. And then they've just got to keep playing really hard defense, just like they have.
Hannah Joyce set back to serve for Whittier, up 6-4.
Not a great pass out of Laverne, but Celaya able to make it work and find an open shot and get the kill and bounce right back. Still down 1. Hopefully they can get this serve.
Sabrina Sullivan checks back in for Laverne, right, and is back to serve, down 1.
Not only a net call, but the kill as well. Either way, point going to Laverne. Laverne's got to play good defense and keep their server back there.
Laverne just tied it up at 6 apiece. Great block by Dara Jones and Madison Minus to take the lead now of 1, 7-6, and McDermott calls a timeout for Whittier. He's not liking what he's seeing.
Yeah, so even though it's only a 1-point difference in the game, it's actually a 3-point swing for Laverne. So that hurts Whittier. They want to stop their momentum right now. Just entering the building is Master Coach Jack Colberly, former coach here at the University of Laverne. He actually coached the men's volleyball team in 1999 to a national title, and then coached with the women's team for the last 3 or 4 years before moving to CMS to coach with his son. Always good to see Jack back in his home. He's always going to be a Leopard, even though he's over at Claremont.
Absolutely, it's always good to see our alumni and former coaches still Leos at heart. As we take a look at Whittier's crowd, little nervous.
Yeah, Whittier's bench looking a little quiet, looking a little worried, maybe nervous that those last 3 points have gone towards Laverne, but they're only down 1. Anything can happen. We're not even to the halfway point of this set yet.
Sullivan is back to serve.
Such a tough ball there. Kristen Sanchez trying to get the ball over to Celaya to attack. Not in the best spot. Celaya not in the best position to hit that ball, but tried her best and didn't quite have it.
Whittier just tied it at 7 apiece with Ashley Withall serving.
Now Whittier's bench is fired up. Now they're happy. They made it to the side switch. Halfway through the 5th set at 8 points, the teams will switch sides in an effort to keep everything fair. For Whittier, that means they get away from the Laverne crowd for the last half of this set.
Look here as Whittier and Laverne settling in, switching the sides, and now Whittier is ready to serve. up 8-7.
Quite a few errors in a row here for Laverne. They're going to have to rein those in if they want to stay in this set.
A little too strong by Jones. Now Whittier is now up 9-7, serving once more.
Whittier following it up with a missed serve, making the difference only 1 point here. SCIAC back to the service line, putting over a good tough serve to get Whittier out of system. Jenna's deciding to sub out Dara Jones after the last few hitting errors she's had, and Emma Estegoy is back in the match.
At that point, Whittier is now up 10-8. Abby Salmon with the serve.
I like how setter Madison Maines there decided to switch it up and go away from the outside of the court and come to the center, to the middle, so that Caitlin Winicky could have her chance to score, and that she did. Subbing in the game now will be
Kelsey Sievers is back in the game. Emma Estegoy back to serve, down 9-10 in the 5th set.
Jenna getting a late delay a game yellow card because she sent her player up too late to the substitution line, which could be used as a delay a game tactic, so the refs have to give her a delay a game yellow card. It's not as bad as a real yellow card. It's just to say that she was possibly attempting to slow the game down by sending her player up to the substitution line late.
It's a strong kill by Hannah Joyce right there as she is subbed out.
Frankie Pelota back into the game for Whittier, and she was on fire at the beginning of this set. So look for Whittier to be setting her a lot right now as she just got back in and she's been making it happen.
Whittier's now up 11-9 with Purdom back to serve. Good effort by Laverne, but the ball went out of bounds, and Whittier gains another point, up 12-9, and Coach Panettiere calls a timeout for Laverne.
Laverne, Jenna Panettiere will be using her second and her last timeout here. She's feeling the pressure, feeling this game coming to a close, and she's going to take that timeout before Whittier can score any more points. Whittier carrying a lot of momentum right now. They're up by 3 points. They only have 3 more to score. They're in that downhill slide into the end of this match, looking for that win. So they'll be playing fired up. They'll be playing smart, but they're also going to be playing with a lot of pressure to get this game done.
If you're Laverne, how do you bounce back from those crucial errors this close to the conclusion of the game?
Well, just like we talked about earlier, you know, you're not going to win the game right now. You're going to win point 10. And so you can't be thinking, I have to do this. It's all on me. You just got to take it one touch and one contact at a time and take it nice and slow and simple. Just like that. Sievers making a great smart shot. Instead of thinking, I've got to kill this ball, I've got to hit it straight down and make a big statement play, she just placed it in the right spot and scored. You know, that type of swing is worth the same amount of points as hitting the ball straight down.
Laverne is now trailing 10-12. Great hustle by Minus to save the ball.
Lucky Laverne strikes again. Although no one there to block or defend that ball, it sails out of bounds and the point goes to Laverne.
Sanchez checks back in for Laverne, down 1, 11-12.
Good read by Laverne. Sievers didn't look like she was ready to attack that ball and hit it right into their block and got blocked there. So hopefully they can get her in system here to get a good attack on this ball.
With that, Whittier extends the lead 13-11 and Mackenzie Thiem served.
Brianna Voigt going up strong against the double block and finding her way through it.
Great bounce back by Verne, getting that point back, and now the lead's cut back to 1, 13-12, Whittier.
Oh man, Kristen Sanchez missing that serve just wide of the court and giving Whittier game point.
Haley Petruscu set to serve for Whittier, up 14-12, game point.
That's going to do it.
That's
Whittier
game.
wins the match.
Whittier takes the victory, 15-12 in the fifth set, 3 out of 2. Congrats to Whittier College Poets. Final score is 15 Whittier, Laverne 12. 3-12.
Laverne battled hard tonight to come back from a 2-game deficit. They worked really hard to win that 4th set when it was tied at 23. They went back and forth this whole 5th set and they just weren't able to pull it off. Laverne struggled a bit on defense tonight, struggled a bit with some unforced errors, and had those had been minimized, they probably would have had this game a lot earlier than the end of the 5th set.
Whittier moves to 4-2 in conference, 7-7 overall, and Laverne drops to 4-2 in conference and 8-6 overall.
So Whittier will stay atop the SCIAC, and Laverne will move down into 2nd place along with another team tonight as the other SCIAC results start to come in. Obviously, Haley Celaya, Kelsey Sievers, both having great games. I'm sure putting up double-digit kills. And just defensively tonight, I feel like Laverne really struggled and had a lot of balls hitting the floor. But all credit to Whittier and their hard-fought battle tonight. Like we said at the beginning of the broadcast, 2 Laverne alumni coaching that Whittier team. Always great to see them back in their home gym and representing Laverne through the SCIAC conference.
Congrats once again to Whittier taking home the victory, the road victory against Laverne, 3 sets to 2, and moving up in the rankings. So final thoughts as Laverne is set to travel to Chapman tomorrow at 4 p.m. What is their outlook and how should they move on from this game and continue going forward?
Well, you know, like we said at the beginning here, there were 4 teams tied for first tonight. That means SCIAC's anybody's trophy this year. Every game counts, every team counts. So they can bounce back, they can beat Chapman, who's in their 4-way tie for first tonight, and try to move themselves back up in the standings of SCIAC.
Very good, very close and tight game, and Laverne was able to catch back, but unfortunately could not. Lost in the final points 15-13 in the 5th set. So you've been watching SCIAC Volleyball on Laverne TV3, Laverne Community Television. This has been Nicolette Rojo, along with
Randy
Peterson. Good night, have a great evening, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.